Hey, what's up everybody? It's Axel, and today I want to talk about one of the best deals in audio right now, in my personal opinion, which is the SMSL RAW-MDA 1. RAW-MDA 1 is a DAC / amplifier, and it also is a digital preamp that has balanced XLR outputs, has Bluetooth, has a remote control, and has one of the most useful displays I've ever seen on a DAC amp. I bought this during Black Friday, and I've been using it ever since. Right now it's priced around $279, but when I got it, it was cheaper. It was like $220, $230. So I'm going to be basing this review on the current price of $279, but still this gets my recommendation, an easy recommendation for anyone looking for a neutral sounding balanced DAC that even has an extra amplifier on top, lots of features, and excellent performance. So let's start by talking about what comes in the box. Obviously, you get the DAC amp itself. You do get a Bluetooth antenna, which is this one that you see right here. You do get a short USB-C to Type-A cable, but it's connected. I don't want to disconnect it. And you do get a manual, of course, and you get this remote control, which is made out of plastic, but it has very nice range. And I can use it from any direction. It's really helpful and really nice. Now, let's talk about here. One thing I absolutely love about the RAW-MDA 1 is the built-in power supply. Yay! No bulky adapters, no wall wart, just a standard power cable like this one that I'm using, and you're good to go. It's very convenient, and all of this is inside this box, so it makes your desk look organized, and you don't have a lot of clutter. And the best thing also is that if you need a longer cable, just swap it out for a longer cable. Simple. This cable you can find anywhere. Another thing that I like also about it is that you get USB-C input instead of the usual USB Type-B now, or the mini. This is a nice touch. It doesn't change much functionality, but I think it's cool to see manufacturers moving in this direction. Now on the back here, as you can see, you do get plenty of outputs and inputs. In terms of the inputs, which are on the right side that you can see here, of course, we get our Bluetooth input, we get the USB-C input, and the Bluetooth, by the way, supports the LDAC and all the usual codecs, so it got you covered. And something that's surprising is that we get two coaxial inputs and we get two optical inputs, which makes this DAC pretty versatile. Another thing I like here, if we move to the outputs, is that you get basically three. We get single-ended outputs, and of course you get balanced XLR outputs, and of course you get headphone outputs on the front. Now, this is a balanced DAC. It has XLR, as you can see, but on the front, you can see it has the 1/4 inch single-ended, and there is a 4.4. Now, the 4.4 is not balanced. It's just a connection that's convenient. So if you have your IMs, with 4.4 cable, you can use it. But inside, the connection is single-ended. So don't expect double the power for balanced, or you don't expect crazy noise rejection or crosstalk figures. But it's really nice, and I have to say it's really powerful. Just even as a single-ended, it's really powerful. In terms of the display, I'm going to show it to you right now. It's probably one of the best parts about this unit, and let me connect it and let's have a look. All right, this is the max I can pull it. So let's have a look at the display. I don't know if you can see that, but the display, maybe I'll add a picture or something. The full color display here is very bright. It has a lot of levels of brightness that you can adjust. It's easy to read. The font is easy to read. It's big enough. It's super useful. You can put this on the table, take the remote, move back, connect this to a power amp, connect this to active speakers, and use this as a preamp and control the volume. And you can see the volume from here. You don't have to squint to see the volume level. The volume level is huge. And this is a display that, in my opinion, has, some thought behind it. You can see the sample rate. You can see the format. You can see the type of input, and other things as well, like gain and so on if you use it. But the most important thing is the volume, and you can see it. It's in the middle and stuff like that, and I absolutely love that. Another thing I like about that is that it's not an OLED screen, so you don't have to worry about burning or fading over time, and the interface is smooth, and you don't have to worry about lack of settings or anything like that, and I will show you. But first I want to talk about this rotary encoder, which you can see right here. This is a rotary encoder. It's not an analog potentiometer, so it's not as smooth. It's tactile, but you don't get any static noise. You do get perfect channel balance. It's just clean and precise in 0.5 dB adjustment level, so it's very nice for fine adjustment. It's very easy to use. As you can see, it can go for like 100, I think, or 99. Let me check. Yeah, 99.5, and it's very responsive. It doesn't skip. I've been using it a lot. If you want me to nitpick about this, and I'm trying to pull this right here, I just want to say, yeah, if I move it in a specific way, it can get slightly wobbly. As you can see, it's a very slight movement if I force it. I don't know if you can see that, but if I move it, there is a slight wobble. In my opinion, with consistent daily use, if I use it every day, I never notice it in daily use. But yeah, if you force it like that, you kind of notice that. The volume adjustment, like I said, let me show you the options. The volume adjustment allows you to adjust in 0.5 dB volume steps, which is super precise. So you can use this at low gain, and just, the adjustment is very nice for IMs. If we take a look at the menu, as you can see here, you do get the choice of inputs. You choose the inputs from here. So you have 2 optical inputs, 2 coaxial inputs, Bluetooth, and USB-C. Now, it's not really convenient to change the input from here if you want to do that. A really faster way of doing it, and more efficient and practical, is using the remote control, which allows you to do that fast. Outputs, you can choose all line out, headphone output, balanced or unbalanced, which is nice and means that you don't have, if you have your headphones or IMs connected and you want to use it as a preamp, you don't have to disconnect your headphones, because it doesn't work for both at the same time. So it's convenient, you can leave your headphones or IMs connected and you just use the remote control. It's faster, allows you to change the outputs. Another thing is the filters, and you do get lots of filter options. As you can see, I leave it on linear fast roll off. You do get your choice of headphone output gain. You do get sound color mode. You do get this tube 1, tube 2, and 3 crystal, and all these things. Standard bypasses these settings, and what they do is they add second and third order harmonic distortion. If you like that kind of thing. Pre-output mode variable allows you to choose and control the amplifier volume. Fixed just keeps it fixed, at the max, which is not useful for headphones, and doesn't allow the headphones to work, actually. Function key is for the function key on the remote, which allows you, like I said, to do that. Switch from line outs at the back or headphones, so you can keep your headphones or IMs connected and just press it on the remote, and you can change to your speakers or, like the other amp you're using or whatever. Or you can choose to press on that to change the outputs, So this is something nice. Other than that, DPLL, which is digital phase lock loop or loop lock, something like that. This allows you, if you're using this with optical, if you're using for example, if you're connecting this to the TV, a lot of TVs sometimes with DACs have an issue where they don't lock the signal, it keeps disconnecting over and over. So what you need to do here is just raise this setting. It allows the signal to have more jitter, but to allow it to connect and stay stable. So it's very useful for TVs, and if you have issues with the optical. USB mode, you can use UAC 2 and 1, so if you have a PlayStation 5 or something like that, it will work. UI style, if you choose the graphic, I will show you right now, it changes the look like that. It has this design. Anyway, I don't like this one, I prefer the other. Dimmer allows you to control, when does it turn off. You can go up to 60 seconds, and then it will turn off the dimmer. Brightness level allows you to choose, keep it at max, and that's it. You just press here, and it goes back. So I talked about that. I will talk about the amplifier power first, and then I will talk about the sound quality of the DAC and the amp of the RAW-MDA 1. In terms of power, first of all, as a DAC, you do get XLR output is 5.2 VRMS, which is awesome. Means your amp, if you use this connected to another amplifier, your amplifier will get the strongest signal. which will give you better performance at unity gain, will give you more headroom. RCA is 2.5 VRMS, which is nice. Headphone amplifier, really powerful and awesome for the price. 2.5 watts at 16 ohms, 1.7 watts at 32 ohms, and 167 milliwatts at 300 ohms. Meaning this can drive almost any IM out there, and a lot, or if not most, of headphones, except for the power-hungry, demanding planars. I will tell you though, for example, for my use case with the HD6XX, which is 300 ohm, it sounded really nice. It sounded great. The bass was, very punchy and dynamic. I could feel it, sense of physicality there, which means that it's getting enough power. And I still had some headroom left, but I noticed that I still could get a lot more improvement when I connected it to a more powerful amplifier, an external amp. The sound just became much more dynamic. The bass started to become really powerful, and the stage even became better. So there is still room for improvement with headphones that really require some power. But if you're talking about just IMs, it's 100% in my opinion, or 99% got you covered. Noise floor, non-existent. Even with super sensitive IMs on high gain at high volume, dead silent. Super black background. No hiss, no popping when I'm connecting or disconnecting anything, just absolutely clean power, very or undetectable output impedance, and very low or ultra low noise floor. But now let's talk about the sound. And I will start with the DAC section of the RAW-MDA one. As I said, I've been using this for a long time now. If I'm using this as a DAC, right, connected to my amp, I will describe this, guys, as perfectly neutral, ultra linear, right? This is 100% uncolored. No warmth, no brightness, no glare, no harshness, just pure, clean, uncolored sound. And by the way, this has dual ESS 9039 Q2M DAC chips. And again, no glare, no sharpness, not even a hint. Just pure, clean, detailed, uncolored sound. In terms of bass, it's very textured and tight and clean, very well separated. Mids are basically very, very detailed and natural sounding. Treble is very clear, very, very extended and detailed without any hint of sharpness. This is a DAC that doesn't add any character. Zero. Like it just lets your amplifier or headphones or IMs do their thing. And that's exactly, in my personal opinion, what a good DAC should do. You want your DAC to be uncolored, and you can basically do your own coloration by using maybe, a tube amp, or just, different types of Class A amp, or just, a neutral amp, and basically do your coloration with your IMs, which is the approach I like to take. So in terms of DAC, this is probably like at the end, of how good DACs are. Of course, there are a lot of DACs out there that are better, in my opinion, but I have to say, after the RAW-MDA one, you're talking about diminishing returns. One of the best things I like about the MDA one is its level of detail as a DAC. Fantastic. The balance output, oh my gosh, amazing. Let's talk now about the amplifier section, and I will be honest here. This is its weak point, but it's still good, or actually even great. And I will explain what I mean. I will put some perspective here. Depends on what you're comparing this against. If you're coming from dongles, this thing is going to be amazing for you. This is better than a lot of dongles out there. But if you compare this compared to, like, for example, listening to external amplifiers, for example, like something like Topping L70, THX 789, SMSL SH9, or, one of these L50 topping and stuff like that. Yeah, there is a significant difference, right? Not only in the bass quality, the dynamics, is just the level of detail you get, the stage, the imaging, the clarity you get. So I will say that this is great. I will say, honestly, it is great, especially for IMs. The sound is more than good. It's really detailed, slightly warm, but for the most part, it's neutral. Again, great level of detail. Bass quality, I consider it good. Level of detail is even great, So it's awesome, not really bad at all. But compared to external amplifiers, yes, there's still a gap in sound quality. And in my opinion, if you want like the best out there, like you're looking for a setup, I think, like investing most in the headphones and IMs. This is going to give you the biggest difference. Number 2 is going to be your amp, and then you get a deck like this. For example, if you have a lot of, a lot of headphones and power demanding stuff, then I do recommend a more powerful amplifier. And you don't have to get, the most expensive DAC out there. Of course, there are improvements, but, it's not like the improvements you get from an amplifier. So something like this is probably going to give you everything you need. And it's got me looking at this and wondering, why exactly would you want to get something more expensive? Yes, there are improvements in sound and of course in features, but diminishing returns really show up here. So yeah, I did notice improvements, and if you want the best performance out there, I do recommend an external amplifier. It doesn't have to be expensive. There are a lot of good quality amplifiers out there, but I think for most people who are just listening with IAMs and they want something that sounds more than good, not just good, I think the built-in amplifier does the job well. So let's wrap this up. This video is a bit long. Do I recommend the RAW-MDA one? I've been living with this for a long time now. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It gets my highest recommendation. For $279, like under $300, the price to performance ratio here is insane. You get a balanced DAC. You do get an amplifier built in. It doesn't take space. Built-in power supply. You do get Bluetooth. You do get a remote. You do get LDAC. An amazing display and a dead neutral, very detailed sound. The only thing I could nitpick about it is the amplifier could be better, and the volume knob isn't exactly the best. But at this price point, I don't care, because at this price point, probably if you're looking for a balanced deck, you just get a balanced deck and that's it. So you can think at it from this perspective. Just for $279 alone, it's more than worth it for, as a balanced deck itself. And, you get a headphone output. It's something extra. It's really nice. It has a lot of power as well, so this is a no-brainer. If you want a neutral balanced DAC, that has an amplifier and can work as a preamp with XLR outputs and all these features, this is a no-brainer. And if you see it on sale, even better. I think SMSL knocked it out of the park with this one, and again, really, really gets my highest recommendation. This is the DAC amp I do recommend myself. And of course, there are more options out there. There's stuff that fits all people, depending on what you need. Like if you don't need the balanced DAC and you don't need, headphone output, of course, there are a lot of other options that give you great sound quality at a lower price as well. It depends on what you need from the features and the inputs, outputs, displays, and all of that stuff. So that's it, guys. This concludes today's review. I hope you find this video helpful. Hit that like button if you like this content. Hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite budget DAC amp right now. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.